because that's what we call that object. But that object is not somehow always chair. It's just the symbol we gave it. Right? How do you say chair in Spanish?
Silla.
Silla?
Silla.
All right. I don't know. I know she knows Spanish. I don't know if anyone else knows Spanish. Anybody know French? How do you say chair in French? Chaise? Oh, like a chaise lounge? A chaise? All right. I know chien. That's about it. La corbeille. I know the wastebasket. I remember that from French.
Hey, the Romans.
Okay. All right.
Okay, cool. So, like, do you want us to write it down for extra credit, like how it said?
Yeah, if you can come in and let me know and show me where you found it, because there are a lot of websites that claim to know something and they don't know crap.
Calling my friend.
I know somebody that's full in
Greek?
Latin and Greek.
Cool. So maybe in the studies they found out how they say these numerals. How would they actually say? Would they just say MC or whatever the corresponding word is?
He explained it.
All right. All right. So get that written down or something and give it to me. That'd be cool. So here, before we get out of the section, try a couple of Roman stuff here. Write this down in Roman.
Yes.
And let's see, let's go the other way. Oh, what am I doing?
So,
You can't have any more than 3 symbols.
5.
You can't have 3 of the same symbol in a row. Bless you.
Thank you.
That's interesting.
Oh. That's just been so long.
And the second piece is something I took out of the book, but I disagree with them on one point, so let's see what you think about it. Mm.
I got the second one. I don't know if it was one.
I'm the first one. I'm not sure this one. Oh. Okay.
You can't have more than 3 symbols.
Good.
So there has to be a separate symbol then for 500.
There is. That's the D. Cool.
For the first one, I did 20. And then
All right, so let's see. You got 20,000.
I did
X and the line.
So that's 20,000
Yeah, the line.
DC. So yeah, 500 plus 100 is DC. 90 would be 100 minus 10.
So that's XC.
Good. X, the 10 before the 100. 10, 100, so that's 100 minus 10. And then 9,
Is IX.
IX. I love it. So,
Oh.
pretty sure they didn't say that. That would be a little confusing. Like walking around, sound as if they're always clearing their throat. I don't think they did that. Now, the disagreement I have with the second one, that's something I kind of modified it from a problem in the book. But what's this here?
That's 5,000 plus 1,000.
So 6,000. So really, this should be written how? 6
VI.
thousand.
Yeah.
So really, it should really be written like that. I'm not sure why they decided to go ahead and throw that at you, confuse the issue, but that still means 6,000.
400.
Good. That's 500 minus 100. So it's 400.
40.
Good. That's 10 take away from 50, so that's 40. And of course that's 4, yeah. So 6,444. Good. Oops. You can make it 40 now. Good job.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense when they
I
were.
think I'm taping the ceiling. That's good. That'll be a very useful lecture. How you guys doing with that? Is that?
Yeah,
So this is a very useful step here to try to break it down. Roman numerals are a little confusing at first until you start to, the 90 and the 9, it's always the same way. You start to see patterns. There's a way to write 999. You have to always subtract from the next one up, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's do one Chinese one. Let's go back and here in Chinese. Right, 6,641. Bless you. Oh, good.
They ever run out of room where they draw a line and they have to make a separate line?
I'm not sure. See, I really don't know. The writing up and down seems to be problematic. I'm not sure how they indicated a line break or something, or how they do indicate it. I don't know.
And they read from back to front too.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Forgetting about that too.
Yeah.
That's okay, you.
It's hard for me to live there.
So the guy who invented the keyboard configuration that you can actually create these characters, it's like a layering. For some of these characters, it gets very, these are just numerals, but you can imagine the Chinese characters for the alphabet are very intricate. So we actually had this keyboard set up that you had some of the same kind of like layers. So you can layer, layer, layer to make one symbol. And then you layer, layer, layer to make the next symbol. I mean, so it's you can imagine trying to get that into technology is not the easiest thing to do for a keyboard for Chinese.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Hindu Arabic for this guy. So you need
600.
6,000.
6,000.
6,000.
600.
Good. So 6, a little running dude. 6,000. 600.
4.
God, I made this terrible. 641, right? So I'm going to do just what you said. 4 will be this one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I know.
And
4 T1. 6,641.
And do you have to have that?
Little circles, period, so I guess if you indicate period, it's the end.
You have to have,
Oh.
110?
You could use that, I guess. Did they use that?
Well, the middle circle is period, so you just do like a little circle at the end of the word, that's a period.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I.
Party was saying, is he trying to tell me how to make a period, but no, so the little circles.
This one you have to say
Hmm?
110.
Shoot. But you should be, I'm not the best drawer in the world, but you should be able to distinguish that from any others, even though it might not be perfect. It's stuff like 8,
Kinda got it, but
8,000.
it's all meshed.
I understand. So it's 8,500.
Yeah, I just skip that.
82. So 8,582. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I got that one right.
So thankfully, just like the geometric part of the test,
Right.
Me
where I
too.
gave
just
you
got the symbol wrong.
things that I didn't draw, I'm gonna, on the test, I'm gonna copy these from sources I have online, so you don't, I'm not the one making these symbols, right?
Yeah, this one I did this one.
But then again, I gotta interpret all your symbols when you go the other way.
The second one you're right.
That
the first one
sometimes
you
can
didn't
get-
do right.
Interesting. Okay, let me give you this. We'll talk about this and then we'll call it a day. We're not gonna get into chapter 8 yet.
It has a little bit.
Do you have a sheet that we revised on what thing?
Maybe.
I make it.
I might think I just wrote the 8 as a 9.
Does it look like 9?
No, it's clearly 8. I just did.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh. I was thinking about something here.
This is optional.
Oh, thanks, Ian.
We could do this for English. Do this for English.
So if you're in the English section, there's not going to be any overlap necessarily. You've got something Tate is asking you to do in addition to this, using your results from this. If you're in the math section alone, you'll be fine. Over that way, yeah. Cool. But just make sure y'all understand this. I put the due dates there in the last paragraph. There's some due dates. You are to create your own number system. I will try to give you a few examples, but I don't want to give you too many examples because of the fact that you have so much range. So if I give you an example and you were going to go that way, you might feel like, well, I don't want to go that way now because he already told me about it. I don't want to feel like I'm just copying from somebody else. But you could do something else entirely with it. So just to give you a very vague kind of, people have used colors in number systems. People have used musical notes as bases of number systems. So you can definitely still do that because there's a lot of different things you could do with that kind of thing. Bare minimum, you want to pick a type of system, the additive, multiplicative, or place value, right? If you do the place value, you got to tell me the base. So it could be like the Mayans, it could be like the Babylonians, or it could be additive like the Egyptians, or it could be multiplicative like the Chinese, right? Totally up to you. Your own symbols you can use. If you have a place value system and your base is 7, you need up to a 6 symbol, right? Symbols from 0 through 6. Okay? Blah, blah, blah. Be as creative as you dare. You can. It's going to count, I don't know why I said 2 quiz grades. It's going to count like 5%. That's why I think I put it on there. And is an opportunity for extra credit. So extra credit will be given for those people who make very creative number systems. So you can tie these number systems, and in fact you really should, to a civilization. You can put your civilization on a different planet. You can have them way back in time. And their number systems are based on what they saw around them. Like there's 3 hills in the distance, so their number 3 looks like this. I mean, you know, and I don't think I'm giving too much away here, and I'm not restricting you in any way. That's the type of thing you could do. You have this big backstory. I had this one guy that made this monster